Yo, it's OdaPrince. I'm here with Stoli, and you are now tuned into another stolen conversation.
Welcome back for another episode, Stolen Conversations. You already know how we do. This episode, long overdue. Got my brother in the building. You know, we haven't known each other too long, but we've grown close over the last, it's been about a year, so right? About a year, yeah.
It's enough time.
OdaPrince.
What's up?
Oh, y'all know him as OdaPrince. What's going on, brother?
How's that on?
Hey, it's rough. We rough. We a little stiff,
That's
but
cool,
we
though.
good.
You putting in work.
Yeah, man. You too, man.
Yeah, man.
How you feeling?
Good, man. Blessed, man.
Blessed.
Yes.
You always got that blessed energy, bro. I love that about you.
I gotta stay close to God, man.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that. So, man, this one's really special because, we could dive deep into spirituality and everything, and I've been on my new journey as well, and it's been great. So, but before we get into all of that, for the people that don't know you, take a little ride down memory lane.
All right.
And start, where'd you grow up?
I grew up East Orlando. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, my family's from New York. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, you hate to be the person that, like, came down from New York and you talking about how you from New York, but you from Florida because you grew up in Florida, but, like, your people from New York, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, but there's a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? It's, like, the city's a real melting pot.
For sure.
Especially growing up on the east side, we had, like, a little bit of everything. So, yeah, man. East side is, like, Full Sail, UCF,
Yeah.
Then you had Cocoa Beach. We used to sneak off and, hang out there.
Okay.
Right. So, yeah, man, the east side was a vibe for a long time. It got a little bit quieter, which is cool. We older now, so.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was live, man. We had, like, big racing culture out there. So, yeah, man. Dean Road. Yep.
That was the strip. That was the spot.
Yeah, it was.
Y'all was like doing drag race, or what you mean, like car meetups?
Because Dean is a straight road all the way down. And so, like, the culture out there was definitely, like, a lot of Hondas, a lot of, Toyotas, but mostly Hondas.
Okay.
And they would chop up Hondas and, like, trick them out and just be racing, like, Need for Speed,
Blocking off the streets and
Not blocking off the streets.
just going for it.
In the mud with it, yeah.
Oh, man.
A lot of Dean Road stickers came out of that. And now I think everybody that raced, it got bigger and just moved to, like, Kissimmee, I think.
Okay.
That's what they doing now. So, but, yeah, man, racing culture was cool. It just, I got out a little early. I was like, nah, y'all doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. You see those videos and those meetups all the time. People getting smacked by the end of a car or something.
Instantly viral.
So you grew up here. You was never in New York?
Nah, I was in New York. I would always go back. I got a lot of family out there and all that. And everybody in my family is from New York. And so, that culture stays with you. Especially, like, it's funny. Like, a lot of us kind of grew up because at that time the music was still pretty much, like, New York based. You know what I'm saying? It was predominantly New York artists on the radio, and lyricism was still a real thing. And, like, your punchline rappers and all of that stuff. But there was a blend because then you had, like, the crunk music came in and reggaeton came in, and you still had all of the reggae hits, and, like, the parties was still a party. Like, we had house parties. One thing about the East Side, house parties. So, like, the New York music, hip hop was still, like, a part of that. You know what I mean? When it was, like, still a party scene. Before T-Pain came and started making all the strip club music. Right? But yeah, it's like
that auto-tune sound.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But then, like, we would just, I don't know, like, there would be moments It wouldn't be all the time, but there would be moments where you would see people like, you know, the headline like Florida man, you know, and we would be like, man, see, that's why y'all from Florida. We not
rap.
from Florida like that. You know what I'm saying? Like wrestling an alligator with his flip flops on.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. So yeah.
Got you. So school and everything was down here?
Yeah, I went to Winter Springs.
Okay.
Yeah. I was supposed to go to university, but then like we moved and then it was a culture shock. But went to Winter Springs. Yo.
You play sports or?
I hoop.
Hoop.
Yeah, I play ball mostly.
Baller dreams.
Yeah, I mean,
not so much.
I could have did more. I don't know. I wasn't motivated by school the same way. If I would have had maybe like an OG at that time to tell me like, yo, if you just focus on this and you smart, like it could balance out. You know, you could be motivated through this. But like, you know, yeah. But like just hooping was more like therapeutic though. Like I would hoop all the time.
For sure.
All the time. I just didn't know what that looked like in school because it wasn't like they had like an open gym where they were like inviting the kids after school to come play as an alternative. Like, you know, every school has like different agendas or whatever based on. You know, so.
Yeah, I knew that coming down here because been doing some little AV teching and stuff in some of the schools, and it's like, yo,
what do they got going on?
It's so different compared to what I was in when I was in school.
Right.
My schools, they got some budgets down here, let me tell you.
I mean, it's different now.
It's different for sure.
Yeah.
Word. That's what's up. So, the music, man, was music runs pretty deep in the family.
Yeah.
When did you, I guess, sort of dip your toe in that?
Man, I was a writer. Since third grade, and I used to do really well on like essays. They used to tell us like, "Oh, this is the format. This is like, you know, the technical stuff," and I would just be like, "Oh, I can do that." And I was a reader. That's where it started for me.
Okay.
Was reading, and like you get into like these multiverses, you know, with reading, and it becomes like an escape. So without even really realizing it, I'm like kind of telling my story through like poetry and stuff like that, you know, and you writing girls poetry and, you know, trying to be deep, trying to be outside the box a little bit. And and then by the time high school came, I was like, you know, you see like kind of some of the kids putting bars together. You like, dang, I could put some bars together. Like, let me see if I can throw a punch. I mean, my first rhyme was probably trash. I'm not gonna lie. I probably got it somewhere in my notebook. You probably got a rhyme somewhere.
Yeah,
in a notebook. I feel like everybody got
the whole like
16
just
somewhere.
Just the freestyling, right? Like pulling up a beat, like that's what we always did.
But I was see you a little bit younger than me, because I remember the shift of people like legitimately wanted to be like a writer, to like people would just vibe and then throw a beat on and then everybody would just start freestyling.
Yeah.
And that to me always made me laugh because I'm like, man, that's like real pure essence and like kids didn't even realize it. That was like the Wayne era when they were just rhyming over everything and like the punchlines didn't matter because they were silly, but they were kind of fire. So you just hear the most random person just start spitting and it would be like, why are you so fire, bro? You just freestyling right now. Like
just going.
Yeah, but they can't write.
Yeah. Hey, that's a lot of people these days, though.
But that's like, I think that was the shift.
The essence, the vibe, like, you know.
It's cool. I mean,
it's a little bit more
my brother,
intellectual to write. You got to have more.
It's different. It's a
different,
because the technical, and that's the funny thing is like the technical rappers, the punchline rappers from back in the day that could make an R&B record too, they you know, that was a big deal because the way that they were writing let you know that they were diverse. They could write the album, conceptualize the album, and now you put out a body of work that's like a script, like a movie, you know, and that's when they had $1 million budgets. And in order for this to even go, you had to be like TV presentable because that was the only way to pop. You know, there was no internet at that time, right? You had to be prepped for television at that point. So yeah, when the shift happened, the shift was like, oh, it's the internet, or everybody could have their own sound and do whatever they want to, and it don't gotta sound like anything particular, and the technicality stop mattering as much because now it's like people just vibing, they don't really want to hear nothing like too, you know, specific. But I do think that even the artists that are big today, that are of like the younger generation, the bigger ones, are the ones that still conceptualize albums. Like your J. Cole, your Kendrick. I know Wale just dropped something. He's big on like a concept album and the writing, bro. And the making sure that you got that record that connects with the people, and got some singing on it, got some vibes to it. And those are the writers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's definitely not being in a box, that makes the people that are diverse something for everybody is what really goes.
Yeah.
And it's good to see that coming back, It was in a little funk for a minute, and I think everybody is kind of,
Man.
I think it's like now there's not even just with hip hop in general. I think I've seen is like the first year there wasn't like a top 100
this year
or something. Yeah. Billboard top 100
right,
hip hop.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think they tried to slide Kendrick in there. But it does say something to, I don't know. I'll be honest though, a lot of real hip hop dropped though. Like Nas just dropped, I think, today. Ghost dropped an album, Ray dropped an album. Like there was a lot of Games just dropped a project, like real, and they're super solid projects. They dropped the Big L album. Oh, the Mobb Deep project. That Mobb Deep project is really, really tough. And I'm a huge Mobb Deep fan. Like I grew up on Mobb, like, right? So, the it's not to say that it's not out. It's almost a better thing that, okay, well, we're not recognized on this thing over here, but for years weren't we saying that we needed to stop worried about that and worry about how the culture feel, and kind of for us to come together and make it on our own to where we don't need the validation of the people that are going to cut us a check but then steal the culture and water it down. You know what I mean? So I think collectively what Mass Appeal is doing, like Nas got the Mass Appeal label, and that's where a lot of these albums are dropping. De La Soul just dropped the album, it's super fire. So it's like somebody's EPing a lot of the projects that conceptually are complete. And when they go out, people are going, yo, this is crazy. We just got an album from so-and-so. So that's like a resurgence of somebody caring again about the process, like, A&Ring, you know what I mean? Because when a lot of the labels are consolidating, it doesn't matter now because they're not DJs are not breaking artists, and A&Rs are not developing artists. They're looking for whatever's already hot because they don't want to invest. And even the artists that have been there for a while, even if they're like a flagship artist, doesn't even matter. They're going to throw the least amount of money possible and say, all right, bro, do what you want. If it go, then it go. And then we'll get behind it and maybe put some money behind it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really an independent game now because, if
and
you
the labels are the investors.
I mean, if you want to call it, if you treat it like that, if you hustle it that way, that's what it should be, because then you can write your contract out. Yo, this is what I'm gonna need because this is what I'm willing to put in, on my own. So,
well, it's like the whole concept. Nobody wants to really get on until the train's already left the station. Like, no one's gonna support what's hot if nobody else is supporting.
Yeah.
Unless somebody really, really, truly believes.
Well, that's my thing. Is like, I feel like back when people used to have like a street team, like, you know what I really want for Savi? I want Savi to get like a TikTok movement or like a specific dance, something that, and then give them shirts or beanies or something with like a little logo on it. You know what I mean? Really make an organic push because he dances too.
Yeah.
But that record, I feel like, is like that kind of record, especially for the city.
Facts.
For Orlando.
It's still going. Timeless.
It's really that.
Yeah.
And how many people can do that? So that record deserves at any given time of day to be pushed in the way that, like, nah, don't let that die. Because if you do, then what was the point when look at what it inspired. It inspired so much. And yeah, it's the street team aspect. It's like you look at the video, right? Everybody's in the video, but then nobody's like gonna be there to push it necessarily. They're a part of the moment because the moment's happening, and then for a while they'll be around. They'll come to the studio, but then they're kind of just trying to see behind the veil to see if the next thing is popping. They're not necessarily bringing the sauce, which some of them were, but then you get people clash and all that stuff. So I just think that back in the day, people used to get behind a movement. Also, labels were throwing more money around, and they're not doing that the same way no more. And I feel like that's a big part of it too, is like you got to kind of be okay with being broke with it for a while. You know what I mean? Like Wu-Tang, bro, they was not... They had what they had. They was still getting it out the mud, and they had to make it pop. And the longevity and the consistency and caring about it without the expectation of that is what made it authentic and what made people connect to it. So like it's like the podcasting thing.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable with doing that for 5 years.
Yeah, facts.
For real. With nobody's, yo, good job patting you on your back. Yeah. No. It's 5 years.
Most people say you not really podcast until you hit 150.
You know what I'm
episodes,
saying? Right.
Then come talk to me.
And then they go back and say, yo, he kind of been quality for a while. So it's like, it's not a bad thing that you're this quality at this level. That means that when they go back, it's like, yo, he been that. That's crazy. It adds to the fandom of, being legit. Sure. You're only going to get better from here.
Yeah, just put it out.
Hey,
you know what you're saying, Dwayne?
That's it.
Just put it out. Just do it.
That's it. That's the thing with music, man. It's like people be sometimes scared of, the failure or doing something different. And so like they kind of wait around or they become uninspired. And it's like, that's why the message matters. See, you feel an urgency and a reason why you do what you do, which makes it important. And when I see it, I'm like, yo, you're talking to people from the city, a city that has been quiet for a long time because these people in media do not reach out to the talent. You know how many years, bro? And I'm gonna just real quick, right?
Let's
I just
get into it.
I just gotta. There's so much talent that's been in this city, bro. Right? You got people that have gotten with mainstream artists, and just there's no media hubs to cover it because there's no major entity that's paying for it. And so because there's been such a dynamic shift, like where the DJ and the producer kind of shifted, shifted the narrative, right, when it comes to like who's kind of like the gatekeeper now in music, and everybody wanted to be the rapper, and now the producers are making all the money, but then these were the people that are not really seen like that. So it's like there really ain't no love for the artist no more. Even if you nice, they kind of looking at you like, so what, bro? Like, but not realizing that the person with the song, like how Savi got that record, that should bring the city together. Instead, you get people that are like looking at you like they either trying to take something from you or they got a comment about you, and that's kind of where people get the stigma of Orlando is like crabs in a bucket, right? But what I will say is we have had unity for a long time, right? So me personally, coming out of high school, right, I had a group I was in called The Originals, right? And then that was a branch off of 22 Crew, which was Berserk and Secret Circle and all of that. These were all like super ill lyricists, really like dope movement. Everybody was from everywhere, right? It's a melting pot. By the way, real quick, Orlando is the oldest established African-American community in the country. I don't know if many people know that, but if we talk about Eatonville
right?
and all of that, right? And I know they call it Maitland now, but anybody who know, they know. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about...
It's still there,
there's
right?
some monuments, but you go to Winter Park and see black monuments, and you like, what's that about? It's like people walk past that. They don't really... There's no reason to invest in understanding, like, how they changing the lines, you know what I'm saying? But that's why culturally I feel like this is such an important moment for us to like really not only remember like what it was and why it was, but like the possibility of what could happen next if we really like just put our minds together and take it serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? California don't got it the same way. I mean, you got a couple artists, you know what I'm saying? And California got its own thing. New York has diminished a lot. You don't hear the New York sound. Now there's a couple people, whatever. Atlanta even, real quiet.
Yeah.
Got a couple people that got an Atlanta sound or whatever, right?
There's definitely a door open.
I feel like it's
a space to be filled.
It's a quiet that like if somebody just
the calm
go,
before
hey,
the storm.
Yo, and it's because you gotta remember Florida music is really dance music. A lot of it. I'm talking about you got Flo Rida, you got T-Pain, you got Ace Hood, you got Trick Daddy, you got Trina, you got Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? These are people that go all the way. Rick Ross. It's like it's such an international sound because there's a secret melting pot where people are truly blended here, and it's such a Caribbean thing. It's such an international thing. So like, yeah, man. There's been like Nico. He's Brazilian, bro. He's with Talib, right? SB, he got with KRS-One son. He DJ, so they were part of a group. You know what I'm saying? And E-Turn been on tour with everybody, Lauryn Hill, all of them, Da Vinci and all that. Da Vinci is Lauryn Hill's only like, road engineer and all that. They're all from out here. It's just that, if there's no DJ that's gonna break the artist in a venue and they have all the power, right? Which now there's a responsibility on the DJs. Yeah. And we cool with, who we cool with. We can name names. We don't got to do that. We got love for them. Yeah. Right? But now there's a pressure now because if we got real artistry and y'all are not breaking records, then what are y'all taking checks to
exactly,
be at a wedding, to be
spinning the
it's
same,
like Jay
same stuff.
Correct. It's like Jay performing for who's the football player? The Tom Brady, right? Was it Tom Brady? I think it was Tom Brady. He retired and he like threw a party and he hired Jay to perform. Okay. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? When there's a plethora of things that when we do see you, you could be putting on. So, the city is beautiful, but I just think we need more recognition. So like by the time I got out of high school, I got with like Family Gang. Family Gang had a spot downtown on Pond called 55 West. And 55 West used to be an open mic situation where Fredo Peens and some of those guys from Family Gang, they used to like basically have a list and you used to come up and for the free, you would write your name on a long list and you could rock. And you was on stage with a mic, with a DJ there, and it was just letting you rock. And this is downtown Orlando, bro. To think about that now, I'm like, bro. And there were people that would come and they would be like maybe halfway prepared and not all the way polished. But that's not the point. The point is that when you did find somebody, a gem, you were like, you couldn't even believe that this was even real. So, yeah, man, we could get back to some of those doors being open. You know what I'm saying? We could do better events and get, tighter, like media, and content and all that so that we could really stamp what it is that we do, instead of everybody being super talented and then being jaded because nobody supports them.
So you kind of going there, I guess. My question was going to be like, so what's the solution? Like,
always a solution. Yeah. The solution is, for me, I've been building something personally. Performing is dope. It's one of my favorite aspects of the music, but the thing is that, what are you doing? Are you paying for an opening spot for an artist that's coming through? When people don't really come through on a local level like that, they might go to the Amway or whatever it's called, the Kia Center now.
I think
but you're not paying to open up for them.
A lot of people used to go to Guilt, and that got shut down.
See, a lot of the clubs got shut down. In
Mello,
the city too.
Mello, he was bringing a lot of people through.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at what's going on lately because I haven't heard nothing.
But that's my point. That's what I was talking to Jay. Shout out to Campaign Jay. It's my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, that's the conversation with the DJs who care is like is gatekeeping still going on, right? But then so the key is like, okay, you do your own event, but then is that the end all be all? Because at the end of the day, mad people are trying to get an event going and they're struggling with that aspect. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna sell tickets. I'm gonna try to get people together to, you know what I'm saying, like believe in it, yo. And so now you're telling artists, yo, go sell 20 tickets so that you can make the door. But the problem with that is that they don't know 20 people that are gonna come off $10 and come through and cheer in the crowd and make sure, you get what I'm saying? They're not getting that for a video.
Shoot, usually sometimes they just be buying it out themselves.
No, they're giving the tickets away just to be able to perform. And this is what I'm saying is backwards, right? So,
right,
to me,
which is buying the slot.
So that's
because they still gotta pay the $200 or whatever.
And then it's not even like you're doing it for an opportunity to be around a DJ and A&R, somebody in a higher position that might be able to put you on and be like, yo, I see your work ethic, I see what you're doing, I see, you know what I mean, the reception, whatever. So the music is not valued the same way because of streaming, because of how easy it is now, because of AI, unfortunately.
Yo.
Right?
We got to talk about that.
So the value of someone who can do this thing now is like, yeah, but I don't, especially for the younger generation, dog. And they're not a lot of them aspiring to do that. Now, there's a pocket of the internet where everybody's viral because they're so talented. And that's where a lot of the creatives live and are inspired by. But that is going to close up with the younger generation not being inspired to be artistic because they are only being programmed like the Matrix predicted. Right? If everybody just grows up in the Matrix, they don't know that they're in it, and you can't tell them they're in it because this is what they know. And so for the people that were born from before that era, it's like, dang, this is really like time is of the essence. So the urgency is important. But to me, the solution is you do your own event, but kind of make the music the caveat, not the main vehicle, because that's a little hoopty at this point. You know, it's on this last, we talking about how old is hip hop, you know what I'm saying, going on like 50 years, 60 years or something like that. So this is something that if you add other components, you turn it into the Millennium Falcon, it could really go where it needs to go. So I'm thinking about like competitions or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
word. Yeah, we had some dialogue.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, okay. So,
stay tuned.
Yeah,
right.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
All right. Nah, that's good insight, man. Especially, you know, because you actually are good to ask, talk about, because you've been here, you know. So I haven't been here like 10 years, long enough to see
where
some shifts gonna happen. Vermont. Came from Vermont.
Yeah.
Went to school.
There's a lot going on out there.
Nah. That's why I left, because I knew small town, middle of the woods, nothing going on. So, but yeah, man, even getting down here myself and getting into it, and then seeing all the changes. All the people we were talking about prior, you know, Milano, Yahweh.
My guy.
All these people that were kind of moving out a little bit after I had gotten here.
Right.
But then just even learning more and the history and like, okay, it's possible. And then just seeing the elevation and the growth and the dynamic and the changes and seeing the flows of the DJs, and then myself being out in the scene, going to the different clubs, talking to these DJs, A&Rs, and promoters, managers, myself, you know, when I was kind of more so working with a couple artists, you know, had my hand in that on the production side and everything. So, yeah, it's a weird time, man. And then what you said too about AI. Like, that's a whole new thing that's open and I hear the industry is trying to figure out what to do with that, because you got AI out here winning Grammys and stuff like that, you know?
You know, but I feel like...
I think it goes back to your point about the penmanship, though. The writing.
Exactly what I was going to say.
You can't... Most of the AI that I've seen is... you have to input the lyrics and it generates a
Yes.
song.
You have to give
So
it.
if you know how to write a good composition, have
Correct.
rhyme scheme,
Yeah.
intellectual,
It's still programming. Somebody has to get behind it and be like, go.
right?
But that's okay. So perfect example, right? My verse, super talented. She's like a gem in the city, right? Battle rapper, but she's been putting together songs. Now, it's tough to watch like people not get behind the song. So I see like she's doing kind of more Spanish music now, whatever. Because the hope is that people will get behind the record, like the song at some point will carry that.
Mm-hmm.
And so people gain momentum the way that they know. But I feel like if the artists that really write and care about the writing put a little more effort into, and they're amazing at what they do. But if you just had concentrated and focused on like the one record that like people could get behind that connects to people, really focus on the connectivity part, that will make people go, oh, we have to see this. Oh, we have to buy this record. Oh, I need to play that 10 times in a row. Oh, I need to see that in a movie. You know what I mean? Because it's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
But
And it literally only takes one, which is
that's
crazy.
all it takes. That's all it takes.
Literally.
But that formula
Right.
is what
study.
is necessary in order for it to go that way. And the thing that AI is doing is hitting the mark on the bullseye when it comes to the stuff that you feel. Like anytime you hear it, you're like, why does this hit me right here? Like, this is so perfectly polished. It's like, yeah, because whoever was writing it wrote it to connect. If they write it to and it doesn't connect, then it's why is AI AI?
Right.
They're perfecting the point of getting across to you, and it's like we've kind of lost that being complacent with music. Yeah, I still love music though. That's why I'm still in it. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I want to create a machine for it to live in safely. Where now, okay, we can do our shows, but within this vehicle where I'm not leaning on it and I'm not begging people to love the music and appreciate the music. The music just lives, but you need other components.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, nowadays it's changed, it can't be the only thing. It's kind of like the sprinkles or, what's underneath, what's
It
supporting
didn't used to be like that.
It didn't, man. It really didn't.
And it was more.
It's tough to see.
Yeah,
it's definitely tough to see.
It was people coming out of, and it's honestly ironic. It's people coming out of the struggles, right? The blues and the jazz, and then when they compromised that, then it became the funk, and the funk it was unmatched and untamable, and so they had a problem on their hands. James Brown came out, and then Michael became a offspring of that, and then it just was like, oh, okay, it opened it up. But it's all a part of like this same DNA, this same bloodline of like, resistance, right? And you see what they struggle with,
expression, and
it meant something. It wasn't just we're doing this for entertainment, we're shucking and jiving. Nah, bro. This
and that's where you lose there
was a lot of people willing to do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
But they couldn't match when somebody came like a Mike who meant everything he was talking about, who needed love to be prevalent and needed, his pops. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it meant more, and it should mean more again. But that's that's what we're here to do.
This episode is supported by the Rare Care Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization focused on educating kids, adults, and caregivers on health and wellness and rare disease. If you'd like to show support, go to rarecarefoundation.org for 10% off at checkout. Enter the code RARELOVE, period, right here on the screen. Don't forget that period at the end. Let's get back to this episode.
So, where you at with your music process and your journey?
I'm doing I still do the love records. I still do the lyricism. I'm not cursing no more because I rededicated my life to Christ.
Amen.
Yeah, hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. But with that being said, like I've been sitting on so much production, and it was like I was talking about conceptualizing albums, projects and stuff. I have like, maybe 20 projects that are just all conceptualized with like the artwork and the beat, all is everything is synchronized, and it's like I was just collecting it like a vault for so long, but then I was like I would listen to it over and over again, and then maybe wouldn't find like the lightning in a bottle every time. And so I was like, I'm not doing what I know I can do to this until I'm ready to really go all the way with it. And then it feels like God was kind of realigning me, because now when I hear it, I'm instantly inspired by everything, because I'm like, oh, I can just tell the truth now. I don't gotta like, because a lot of the time people would, you know, they would tell the truth, but mixed with the trying to connect to the world still. So you end up compromising what could be just the raw, authentic, unadulterated truth by trying to still be entertaining. And it's like when you're just telling the truth, then now you can have fun because you did your job. You started with just doing your job, that God had set out for you. So that's the wave right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still wavy. You know what I'm saying? Like we still, you know what I mean? Like,
and there's a lot of good
oh yeah,
Christian
oh my gosh,
music out
it's
right now
evolved.
too. Yeah.
It's evolved.
Like you used to I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't really like a thing. You
It's kids
had
popish a little bit.
you had like Lecrae. That was the first guy that was like mainstream with it kinda. But there wasn't really like a blueprint, everyone, I think some of his interviews he talked about he would listen to more secular worldly artists, but just to get their flow
correct
and everything, and then translate that over. But now you literally got like blueprints and so
there's a lot of cool guys. At my church, we had a live church over there on
Alive. Shout out Alive.
man.
I've been there
Shout
a
out,
couple
yeah,
times.
Man. Live is amazing.
Yeah.
Pastor Ken, Pastor Tabitha, Pastor Freeman, and yeah, man, and Caleb Gordon and Alex Jean were over there, and like my wife knows their wives. Like it was kind of like, and I seen Caleb.
He's at
the gym and stuff like
Ocoee
that.
here, right?
He from Ocoee, I think.
From Ocoee.
Yeah. But
so that's
he's
fire.
really dope.
Yeah,
and really diverse, and I think they Caribbean too, and just flavor, bro. Like it don't gotta be one thing.
He's real diverse.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so that's the beautiful thing about like the internet too, is like where there's a lot of the stuck stagnant stuff. There's also another side of it where like there's so much freedom now and the creativity, and we just living in that.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
Yeah.
When did you recommit your life to Christ? Or I guess you say recommit, so you were committed.
Well, I always had faith.
Yeah.
Like my mother grew up in church.
Okay.
My mother didn't grow up in church. My mother had us grow up in church. And so like she was a Bible reader though. So I think there's a difference, because we weren't a part of like church culture as much as we knew what my mother was telling us that was coming out the Bible. And when you telling us something that God said is different than hearing it from somebody who's saying that God said it, but you don't know if God said it, or you getting one verse, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
so
talk
you always
about
got
this
to read
for
it
30
yourself.
minutes, and then 30 minutes of worship, and then 30 minutes of donuts, and you know what I mean, and 30 minutes of shouting, and you know what I mean? So, but
yeah, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? It's formulaic a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. So like I had encounters, like real spiritual encounters and stuff like that. So like and like my favorite rapper growing up was Tupac. Like you hear somebody like Pac, just that's all he talked about was God. That's all he wanted to tell his people, like, like focus on God. But he was a kid. He was still struggling with like the war that was going on outside. So to dedicate his life to God would have meant not having to worry about thug life. It would have been God life, you know what I'm saying? So it's sad he died at 25. People forget he was so young.
Yeah, he was.
Right. So I always had the faith. I just, like Pac, a little bit struggled with kind of the war. Like I dealt with a lot of racism. I went to school in Winter Springs. We lived in Longwood, and then I went to school in Sanford, and Sanford is where Trayvon Martin got killed. right? So the energy surrounding like somebody like a 17-year-old walking around the neighborhood and somebody who just got a gun on him, and he called the police and they're like, yo, we don't need you to do that, right? And yet I always ask people, I'm like, do you think that he went back to the crib to get his gun, or did he have it on him? You know what I'm saying? So that means he was following him with the gun, right? So that must have meant that you had intention on possibly using it for real, especially when you called trying to justify it. But his father was a judge, and then he got out of jail and started threatening people on the highway and beating his wife up and getting away with all of it, right? And talking about how he was the one that killed Trayvon, and I think sold the gun for like $250,000 or something like that too, right? So these are things that happen in our face, and I was just like dealing with a lot of that. They'll pull you over, they harass you, stuff like that, and my mother didn't really understand it. She was trying to raise 2 other kids as well, so like you just dealing with that kind of like battle of like, yo, I'm a man, growing up in a world where like I don't have a lot of male influence. You know what I'm saying? I met my dad at 18. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I met him, I was kind of like I had to figure it out already. But thank God for him too. You know what I'm saying? Because he raised us well, me and my brother. So but yeah, I mean, as far as my faith, I rededicated probably I want to say like during COVID. During COVID, I started studying like kind of what the Hebrews was on, the Israelites on the corner screaming at people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm like, well, that looked like to
I go
me.
talk to him. I used to go talk to him when I
Chop
was
it up.
downtown. Yeah, they harsh, bro.
Yeah, bro.
They ruthless.
Yeah, bro.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, cause
you was them?
Nah.
Okay.
Well, that. So I'm like this. I'm like, I'm over here like, I just felt like I had always been on my Tupac like Illuminati, the world going end. We got all this stuff going on, so I'm paying attention to what they got going on, and I'm like, well, if we got COVID and they trying to shut down the world, and they got maybe tanks rolling up, and they telling you can't go in here and go in there, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it felt like that.
Oh yeah.
So
like,
at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to get right with God and like rededicate whatever. So I'm like, I'm seeing them outside, and I'm like, that sound like the closest thing to the truth, because I'm already knowing like, all right, we are the real Hebrews or whatever, and the mother people, like, they not really who they say they are. They don't even follow the Torah. They follow the Talmud, which is Babylonian. That ain't got nothing to do with anything that got to do with the Bible at all. So it's like, if you know that you're not the lineage and you don't follow the Torah, then what are you actually talking? So you're just lying out here. But anyways, so I'm over there just trying to peep game or whatever, and then I realized that even their doctrine, I'm like, okay, well, even if you are the people, then you also got to be careful with that, because then that means that who's responsible for killing Christ? You know what I'm saying? And if that bloodline still exists, then you see why the corruption is still what it is, even though you see the monumental stuff happening too, like your Martin Luther King, your Marcus Garvey, your Malcolm X, your Muhammad Ali, your Michael Jackson, your Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? You see the gospel choir, like you seeing all of these things happen, Soul Train and all this, right? So you watching God move, but it's like everybody's calling it something else, and they're not being honest about it, which is fine, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I was like trying to get to it, and then when I got there, I was like, dang, like, all right, well, y'all are wrong too, like, because you saying that we still under the old covenant, and Christ came to bring a new covenant, because a covenant is a contract, you know what I mean? And so when you break a contract, you don't have people being like, yo, man, we could reinstate the old contract, bro. The moment that you break your lease on your car, you do something, they like, yo, we coming to get your car, bro. We not having no conversation. They pulling up, bro, when you sleep. You coming outside, and everything that's in your car, you better find out where it's at, because you need that stuff in there. Yeah. Your car is gone. It's not your car. That's why. But that's the point, is like the new covenant. There was a lot of weird doctrines that I would just be like, you get behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't ever banging with them like that. I just was like, try to see what it was.
A place to start. Yeah, you knew.
Well, I just felt like that was the rawest version I saw thus far of whatever the Bible was. And then when I realized that, I was like, oh, okay. So then I put a different fire in me too. But I still needed some time as well to continue to like prune things out of my life. I was still smoking weed, you know what I'm saying? Like you know the process of like just the things that it takes to rededicate to follow him truly, because the things that we think we need, we don't. And he's a healer. So it's like we always looking for things of the world to heal us. And at the end of the day, he's like, yo, you need to go back to this chapter again to realize, like,
facts.
I did all that. So yeah, so that was like a couple years after COVID, things started lightening up a little bit. COVID was crazy though.
Yeah. Do you look back and see God's hand over that?
1,000%. I got married. You know what I'm saying? Baby on the way.
Hey, yeah, congrats.
Custody of my daughter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that came from the rededication. I was struggling with a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, for years until.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's testimony. Yeah, but the moment I decided to give my life up, you know what's funny about my wife? She had a dream about me. And I know mad people online. I've been an artist for a long time, whatever. You know people, whatever. I didn't know her like that. She sent me a long, you know how girls be like, oh, I had a dream about you. You be like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Checking in or.
Man, you saying you had a dream about me, so you could just, you know what I'm talking about, right? So it's like they'd tell you that to be fake deep, and then tell you everything you want to hear, talking about something they had a dream about you because they want to, yo, what time were you born? My mom like, nah, don't ask me that because they're not doing nothing good with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so she had a dream about me, and it was like real detailed, and you could just tell it wasn't no fake, you know. So I was like, dang, you know, and this was at a time where right before that happened, I had a lot of pruning that was going on. And it was definitely like a moment of isolation and stillness. And in that moment, God was like, yo, what if I know that you want a wife. I know that you have that on your heart. But what if you never get that? Would you still worship me? Would you still dedicate your life to me? And I had to think about that. And I was like, right, because the idea of having a wife or having a woman, having a family, that might could become an idol, right? So like, would I? And then when I made the decision and I said, yeah, I would. I have to, right? I have to live my life as if I never get that, I'm still going to serve God. And that's when he was like, oh, you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a true commitment and dedication. You know, it's being celibate 2 years after being outside, you know, or trying to figure things out, you know, and thinking like, you know, when you're young, you're being influenced, you listening to people. People are telling you and convincing you like, you know, yeah, this is normal, or yeah, nah, it's cool. Or the conversation is like whatever, but and you find out, oh, that's fornication, or that's this, or that's that, and it's like God is condemning this. You see what I'm saying? And it's also taken from your spirit, taken from your soul, and putting you, you know what I'm saying, in the grasp of the enemy, for him to use you, you know, because there is no in between, at the end of the day. So when I rededicated, man, and my wife just popped up, man, and she been one of the most amazing parts of my testimony, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she'll come up here and talk to you and give you some of that.
Y'all knew each other before this dream? Or it was just like really a cold, like...
Bro, swear, like that.
That's crazy.
That's the part. And the fact that she's sing, and like that's a dream for a rapper to have a wife like J&B type of situation where it's like...
Some female vocal.
Really compliment. She really sings. She been on The Voice and like American Idol and all that stuff. But she turned down a lot of things. Cause you get behind the veil, you find out like, all right, bro, like it's for real. That, yo, speaking of that,
selling your
real
soul,
quick, right?
Yeah.
Yo, Puff.
Yo, you seen this documentary?
Did I? Of course I did.
I'm only on it. I just started the second one.
When I get to the crib.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You feel me? What's crazy is that, and Papa tell you when he get in front of the camera, yo, this is somebody, when you watch it, it shows you from the beginning.
Yes.
It shows you from the beginning when he was how something like this can
19,
happen.
18.
And it's just interesting, man, because it's like, and I met Puff, you know what I'm saying?
This whole career is...
We did Rolling Loud.
Stacked on...
And Khaled and Puff was bringing out Meek. And nobody knew that Meek was out of jail, and everybody was on this thing because, remember, he got locked up for riding a bike. So the whole thing was like, yo, free me. Everybody was like up in
Free
arms
Meek.
about Meek,
Yeah.
and nobody knew that he was out, and they got him out, and he came out on Rolling Loud in Miami. And this must have been like 2017 or something like that, right? 2018, one of those. And this is when at the height of Rolling Loud. And I'm on stage. We building the stages. You know what we do? We do production.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So from the ground up, we know all the ins and outs, whatever. So then you get cool with the people, because the people that are really supervising, they're gonna look out for you if they know you that.
Yeah.
And especially in them type of situations, you outside, you building a festival, bro. That stuff is not easy.
Yeah.
So shout out to K. K was like, he see me. I didn't know what was going on. Me, I'm just hanging out. I'm around, whatever. And he's like, yo, man, you want parts of this? And I'm looking at him like, what you? He's like, oh, come on. So I get on stage. You know me, I'm gonna play like security because that's what I'm in. Anyway,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Ross come through. You got a dude pulling out his camera, running them down. He's production.
Oh no.
We looking at him like, bro, you blowing it for everybody,
Yeah.
right? So they got him up out of here. I'm like, oh, thank God, because we the cool kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just crazy because you know, we seen Tory back there and Khaled, whatever, and then I turn around and it's Quincy. And that's I'll Be Sure and Kim Porter's son, but like Puffy raised him, and I'm seeing Christian and all that, and Quincy keep bumping me like trying to like get my attention, and I'm like, what's up, man? So he's all excited, like he see me there, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, so I'm vibing, you know, this is like the anticipation, because you know you're in between sets, right?
Yeah.
So I turn around and Puff is right there, and he looking at me like stop, like it's like frozen in time. And he looking at me, and in that moment I could tell like he like kind of like looked at me like, and he was like I think waiting for me to acknowledge him, like to give him that, but try to be like, yo, what's up, like. And in that moment I remembered everything my dad told me from way back from the '92 Source Wars, because my dad was at death row when that happened with my brother Vaughn as a baby, right, Pop. So you know what I'm saying, like he's over here telling me like, yo, my experience of seeing it, bro, it was spiritual. You know what I'm saying? You watching what's going on, you like, nah, bro, ain't no way. You know what I mean? So, plus I already had.
What you mean? I guess I'm not following. I missed what he told you and what you felt in the moment or what happened in the moment.
Well, I mean, we knew from before the Puffy doc, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, Puff was supposed to be the hero in the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll Be Missing You and all of that stuff. He's dancing, you know. He's talking about this is his best friend.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that know the story before this got made public information,
I guess I gotta see the rest of the doc.
Yeah, for sure. Right. But the only people that would have known this information were the people that were in this industry.
Okay.
And the ones that was really like keeping it thorough. Because if you were like sipping the juice, you know what I'm saying, then you compromised anyway. A majority of them were compromised. You know, so the ones that really know the information for real, they're gonna be a little bit more low key about it, because it's like, to make it out of death row, I mean, like I said, he'll talk to you about that, you know what I mean? But like, you don't just make it out of death row. You know, you don't just make it out the East Coast with all of that drama going on. So when I seen Puff, I'm like, I'm already knowing he got all this blood on his hands. Mind you, this is before Nip died, and this is before Kim Porter died. And I see the Nip situation because he executive produced that album and he got Grammy nominated and all that. He might have won, you know what I'm saying, on his first album. But I'm like, okay, but then who makes the money when he dies? So I'm putting it together. But this is after that, you know what I'm saying? And then Kim Porter died, whatever. But nah, it just bugged me out, because I could tell by his spirit. I've always been a spiritual person, and my dad was like, yo, I grew up in the Salvation Army. Like, that's why my energy was very different coming into the rap game, because I'm not looking at everything like how everybody looking at like money is your master, or you'll do anything for the look, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a boxer, so he's like, bro, like I'm running anyway. I'm not even on y'all type of time, you know what I'm saying? And you can't bring guns in the studio or in the club, you know what I'm saying? You have to see me, you know what I mean? So, and whoever he was with, you have to see them too. Really thorough dudes or whatever. So yeah, bro, just knowing the history, I'm like, nah, and I stepped away, and I just was like, you know what I mean, pivoted, you know what I'm saying? But like, that was just a moment in my life where I just remember that, and I'm like, you know, that's really like moments that define you. You know what I mean? Like, cause would you have You know, in that moment, it's Puff, bro. He's supposed to be the super. He
Yeah.
got Obama elected. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be this guy, a superhero. You know what I'm saying? A hip hop. But if you know what I'm saying? You know. So crazy.
That is crazy.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to just the faith, man. Like that's you know, that's another thing too. Is like I had to give up the idea of doing it a certain way in order for me to really put it in God's hands. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the message matters more than ever. I don't feel like we got that much time. I feel like the technology going as fast as it is us having a window into knowing that the message is more urgent now than ever because we don't have that much time left.
Word. Did you see? It's crazy you saying this, bro. This is what I was saying before the alignment. I posted this story. I'm reading this book. It's called what's it called?
It's called something.
It's called Emotionally Healthy Spirituality.
Mm.
And it's like you can't have a healthy spiritual life until you have a healthy emotional life. Right?
Okay.
And it's very faith based, right? So but I was reading this morning and there's a section that talks about dealing with grief and loss, right? And how it's just part of life. And then it says, you know, the central message of Christ is that suffering and death bring resurrection and transformation.
Wow.
So it's saying how, you know, when we are actually experience loss, you know, it's not like we should mourn. We can grieve,
right,
but don't mourn. Mourn is
James.
like staying in it.
Correct.
Grieving is feeling it, processing, moving on, you know? And the story of Job, like losing everything.
Right.
And then his wife telling him to curse God.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to still worship, you know, even in
his friends
in
saying
the pit.
Same thing, right?
And then, you know, just like staying faithful. Yeah. You know? So
trusting them.
I guess what I took away from that is just like there's going to be death, and not obviously literal, but even just seasons or moments or who we thought we were or
who we thought we wanted to be,
right. Or a certain career path, or like these are all things like
right.
You don't think about it, but you have to let those go and grieve those. Those are ideas or different like ideologies that you have to grieve and let go of. So put a death to so you can resurrect, you know. So
that is the gist of it all, for real. Is whatever you thought it was, really give it to God, man. Trust that He's gonna make you the best version. Like, why wouldn't we trust the Creator that made us, knowing that He engineered the whole vehicle, and you have to be made specific with all the gifts and love that you got. Like, you inspire people. Everybody inspires somebody, you know. So like, hey, He did that on purpose.
Yeah,
you know, you gotta trust the why. Why did He do it on purpose?
And I think right now it's too, or you can see it. You can see the revival happening. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
And I think, for me anyway, I took, you know, the death of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, man.
I feel like was a very,
man.
It's like black and white, man. You got to pick a side. You know, the word says, I spit you out my mouth.
Yeah.
You can't be lukewarm, you know? So when I seen that, and then you see the people literally cheering that this man's dead, and then, you know, the dichotomy of it, and going back to the music, I guess I wanted to ask, like, you know, heard this dude D1?
Yeah.
D1, right?
Yeah.
So he talks about it a lot too, and I think a little bit more now. I've seen some of his posts. It's almost become trendy to talk about God and in your music even, like, you know. What do you see that? Do you feel that? What do you think about the whole going back to the like Christian music scene?
I do feel like I do feel like a lot of girls started getting like witchy.
A lot of girls got witchy.
Yeah. Like they took the horoscope thing to another level and started openly doing like the tarot cards, started openly doing the crystals and all that. And it's like, no, witchcraft is real. Demons are real. The devil is real, right? When you play with that stuff, you invite that stuff in. But then because the men are not men the same way, they're not challenging the women. And the women have become the dominant ones. And now they're steering the ship, which is out of order for how God created order to be. So when you hear people talking about God, they are searching. We are spirits in a body and not bodies with spirits. So they are trying to kind of like either, it's one or the other though. This is why, to speak on it, it's like people are really reaching out for God, but sometimes they're afraid of the accountability. So what they'll end up doing is kind of halfway acknowledging that there is a God or might be a God and try to include like some moral, stuff with it. But then like it's kind of tough to be solely dedicated to like Christ and the word and the mission and the understanding of like repentance and changing and shifting. But there's also people that are really turning up. But I hate to see kind of like the double-mindedness with some of that stuff, but I don't know if that answered your question. Like I am seeing, I think, more
it's
people.
Like it's more
talking
it's
about
just more.
God.
It's more intense, as far as like what I'm seeing is it's either.
You have an example?
Man. That's a good question.
Put you on the spot. Like
I'm trying to think of a
to me, right? Like I love Kalani, right?
Okay.
I love Kalani sonically. My issue though, right, is my daughter could love the record, and then she's on Instagram the other day singing a Maverick City record, right? And her voice is fire. But when we watch the folded video, you see like all of the different like tributes to like Oshun, and it's very much like you could see a lot of the symbolism that like your Doja Cat and your Beyonce is like they're going through these motions, you know what I'm saying, of like, initiation and stuff like that. And so it's like, yeah, that will leave people confused. And I think that what's happening is the truth is going to be conflated a lot more. It's going to be harder to get to the actual truth because everything is going to look and sound like truth. And then they have this thing called your truth, which doesn't make it truth because if it's subjective, then it's opinion. It's how you feel about something.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the final boss.
Ain't that, it's like part of the revelation, right? That the truth is going to be.
Yes.
Are
you spitting now?
The lies is gonna be come from
activated. Right?
I'm paraphrasing.
Holy Spirit activate. Yeah. No, it's real.
The lies is gonna looked at as the truth, and truth
Correct.
is gonna looked at
right.
as
even Lucifer comes in, disguised as an angel of light.
Yeah.
Right. So the final boss, I think, is gonna be you got the world on one side, which you already know the world is the world, right, and everything they got going on, and then you got the people that's in the church. There's a lot of corruption and kind of like fakeness, but they know how to mask it well. They speak the language and they do all of the things. And then there's the the peripheral of both of those sides, which is people that like to dabble in the world and then they kind of dabble in the church. And then there's people that are in the church, but then they like to dabble in the world, right? And then there's the narrow path, which is smack down the middle, which is like kind of like I feel like what Candace is doing right now, trying to get justice for Charlie's murder. Which is going completely against the grain, talking about all the things you're not allowed to talk about at the risk of them murking you at your crib because they moved down the block. Which, you know, I feel like the hip hop community.
What you think of that? What do you think of what she's talking about in that whole situation?
Like my favorite person on the internet.
Really? Okay.
1000%. Yeah, I would.
I heard something today. It was like, you know, you see all this stuff and you know, the devil came to kill, steal and destroy, and is the king of lies and confusion, right? So this whole situation is very confusing, right?
Which situation?
The Charlie Kirk.
The assassination.
Yes.
The information.
The information about it.
What they're saying is fact, which does not.
It's all confusing.
It's not calculated.
It doesn't.
As fact.
Yeah. Right. So if you look at the fruit.
Correct.
You know, it's like something's weird. Something's weird. You know? So
there's a lot of I mean, just that's why I love her, because she just says what the facts are. It's very objective, and to me, that's the purest way to be honest. And because this was her friend, her best friend, and she's partly responsible for the success of the model in which he took on the world, really, but the country for sure. He went to these schools and told these kids to tell me what you think and challenge them. Yeah. And he was open to listening about things that he may or may not be right or wrong about. But it was an open dialogue, and no one's doing that today.
Yeah.
That's why we love podcasts, because it's open dialogue. Some of it is like narratives, and you see what people are they're trying to get a buzz or something. They trying to make something pop,
the clickbait or whatever.
But sometimes you find open dialogue that you're learning from in real time, and you're like, yo, those moments. So when you see her and you just know she cares truly about the right things, and then for something to hit that close to home, and it was a message to her specifically, this happening. Remember, he was the one that told her, yo, I'm going to need you to stop talking about Brigitte Macron, because even though she might be a dude, the president's saying this. The president? So we are now.
And she called them out too.
But this is what I'm saying. We are out of the realm of impossibility where like nothing's connected and everything's connected. Everything's connected.
Everything is weird.
And
there's a lot of weird stuff
too,
going
right?
on.
But remember, they used to be able to lie about like 9/11, COVID.
Yeah, well, because they didn't have media and platform and open,
and
so much open dialogue. It was controlled.
Correct. And so now that this has happened,
the
shift is insane, bro. I think about what it was like to get pulled over before, right? The energy. You been pulled over? The energy that you feel, right? When you're getting pulled over, is you better pray to God that you on his side. That was like when Barack Obama was president, more
Are you
atrocities.
Sorry,
my bad.
Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say when he was president, more atrocities happened in these communities than ever before, and this is where like your real protests and all that, not the BLM when George Floyd was happening, not that. I'm talking about prior to every major city. It was Baltimore, California, all these, and they were outside, and it was every race that were out there united and really movement, you know what I mean? And I was out there, you know, in the city, right, downtown in Orlando, all the footage, all of that stuff, I can tell you how authentic and real it was. And the police was there, you know what I'm saying? Because they're going to be there to maintain the peace, but they were cool. We know the city got deep roots, so they're like, they don't want no smoke. But that doesn't mean that there hasn't been corruption in this city, because we know the other side of that too. The difference though now is in the technology and the fact that you don't see that. When's the last time you seen something like that go viral, where a cop did something out of pocket? They can't afford to.
It has been a minute.
They can't afford to. You know why?
I feel like it has been a little minute.
Because the body cams changed the game.
Yeah.
enforcing the body cams now holds you responsible to have to do your job. That's a God thing, because the enemy did not create technology. He's not a creator, right? He can only imitate things. So that's what we put our faith into. And that's where you see what happened with Candace is the world is behind her. It's not her. She's a vessel because she told the truth. God can use her now. And the world is like, yo, we all agree. And the world is giving her the information as it's happening. So she's literally beating the devil at every turn. Every time you see her pop up, she's like, and another thing. And these are proven things.
Let me ask, what you think of the whole, with her not going on TPUSA? Did you seen that part? So she said she was tweeting with the new producer or one of their producers or whatever about, they were denying her claims. None of this true. Da 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 da.
Okay.
And then she was like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'll pull up anytime, any place. I got the receipts. Da 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 da. Yeah. And then they invited her onto.
That's not what happened.
Their platform. That's and then she was like, well, I gotta.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
I got my show that day, but it's like, yo, you said anytime, any place. If this was your best friend and you really trying to prove.
This is the media spin, right? Because if we don't dig, you don't watch her show.
I don't.
So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. If somebody is trying to debate me about the Bible, I'm going to ask, have you read the Bible? You ever been to a Harry Potter book club and started talking about spaceships? You wouldn't do it, right?
Nah.
Because
Star Wars.
Because the people, no. A Harry Potter book club.
I know, but you wouldn't
but
go
this
to.
is what I'm saying.
You wouldn't go to Harry Potter to talk about Star Wars. You.
They would be like, "What are you, bro? You don't know what you're talking about." So it's the same thing with the Bible. People always want to like debate the Bible, and yet it's like, okay, but have you read it?
Yeah.
Have you really read it? Because everyone says that they've read it, right? Have you really do you really know what it's saying?
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't watch the show, then we don't really know, and we're being fed the media kind of narrative or whatever. So. No, what happened was that she's been applying mad pressure because the facts are the facts are the facts. And when people are coming out with super legit information and like now all it takes is a couple of people, legitimate people, and it's starting to crack more and more and more, they have to respond. They're freaking out right now to the point where Erica's responding now. Right? So... And even she's catching fire because you can look at people and y'all thought that y'all was just going 9/11, this 9/10 this situation, bro. It's not that simple. You don't think that's ritualistic, bro?
9/10, yeah.
You think that you was just going to get away with it like this was back in the day? People wasn't believing what happened on 9/11. Like, okay, so you're telling me that, fire melts steel beams and makes it collapse in one spot? Are we defying physics at this point? You're just gonna tell me that Charlie Kirk got hit with a 30-06 and his neck was so strong, his body was so strong that it literally prevented there from being all types of blood, and bro, he would have been decapitated, bro. And many people who have
it wouldn't have been a single
dealt with guns, they're all saying is military people, bro. So there's so many things that they're just trying to breeze past. Remember she was crying, Erica was crying, talking about, I forgive him. And I'm like, you're selling us the narrative that we're supposed to move on with you.
It's a world stage,
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so she's applying pressure. What they did was say, you have 24 hours to respond, because she said, yo, I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
They took that and said, okay, well, you have 24 hours to respond, but didn't like tell her directly. And they said the 15th.
Right.
And she said, I can't do the 15th. I can do another day, because she wanted, and then they said that she couldn't do, she said.
Then they took away the.
Correct. So it was like it was very like a bait and switch, like now look, she doesn't want to, and they wanted to sell that. But the thing was that she said I can appear virtually. This is like 2025. We got technology. What's the problem? They were like, no, you have to come in person. So obviously everybody in the audience, right?
And then
millions
of people,
they're all like,
it'd be this Monday then, right? The 15th.
The 15th, correct.
So are they still doing it? It's gonna be
they're planning on doing a live
streaming, and
who knows?
Yeah,
but at this point,
I might have to tune in. This is gonna be one of
them
episodes.
It's gonna be epic. But at the end of the day, they haven't answered any questions.
Right.
Nothing legitimate. And this is the biggest assassination since John F. Kennedy. And
Yeah,
remember,
it's crazy.
he got Trump elected this go round. Single-handedly.
Kurt.
Yes, of course he did. Of course he did. Right? Because remember, he had all of the colleges
I gotta watch this.
in the country. What the Candace's show?
That, and then you heard about this Snake Eyes movie?
No.
Snake Eyes.
I think I've heard
it's
of that.
a movie.
It's an older movie.
Yeah, apparently from like the 80s that this dude gets assassinated. And
More prophecy.
His name is
Trump.
Charles Kirkland.
Oh, I saw that right on.
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix.
I saw that. Crazy.
I don't know.
But yeah, man.
So
I mean,
weird.
I think prophecy plays out in different ways. Now that we're in the future, you know, we've seen like movies and stuff like, and I feel like they kind of knew but didn't know all the way, and now we're watching it. Like, you know, you seen it? You seen our robot?
Yeah.
Have you seen the robotic technology that exists?
I mean,
in places like Japan and stuff
we
like
living
that?
in iRobot. Yeah.
No, not yet. Not like how it could really for real.
Well, not the the
you seen the robot dog?
Yeah.
I saw them bust.
You been to Miami? You seen the robot delivery bots?
Oh, no way.
Bruh.
For real?
I'm standing at a crosswalk. Across the street, you got a bot. It looks like a little square. It got 4 wheels on each corner. It got a little antenna. It got a name on the side of it.
No way.
Tommy. All of them got little names.
Terrifying.
And that thing got cameras on the side. And apparently it sits on the corner until it gets a little notification. It's for food delivery. Or maybe like you can get some from CVS or something.
Man.
But bro, it just sits there until it gets a little ping notification, and then it just starts driving off. And people walking, we integrating with robots, bro. It's rolling down the street, and we walking right by it, and you just watch that thing go, and it gets to the corner. And
they're normalizing it.
Yeah,
they did a drug bust on the east side, and I was cutting up there, and they came in mad deep with like military grade vehicles and all that stuff.
Orlando.
It was like a bit on the east side on Summerrun by the airport, and I just happened to be zooming in to the staircase to the house where they were coming in and out of because I was trying to catch something, whatever. I like documenting things. So I'm zooming in. As I'm zooming in, a little dog is coming down with the police officer. And I'm like, hey, yo. This was a episode of Black Mirror where the little dogs, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
Oh, with the robot dog.
Yes.
Like the search dog.
Yeah.
They got the, yeah.
I imagine a world in the future where like a drone comes down and calls you by your name and tells you like to put your hands behind your back and they zip tie you. The drone does it.
The drone got the.
Yeah. Well, I mean like the walking robots will come.
Oh. They won't even.
After
well, they got a movie for that.
iRobot.
RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop?
Yeah.
Oh, that's, yeah.
You don't need a police anymore. But then they got the robot that is going to decide your fate if you guilty or not.
Sheesh.
You littered on the street, my guy.
So we in Gotham now.
Yeah.
Is what's happening. And I feel like this city is like the last free city, to be honest with you. For real.
You seen Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Where the headset.
Everybody's in the simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The simulation is more exciting than the real world.
And you see how they living.
Yeah.
Right?
Stacked trailers.
None of that matter because
slums.
in the internet, they everything they want to be. And
exactly.
It's a mashup. It's
exactly
all the things. So it's like, yeah, bro. That's I think the epitome of like the enemy creating a world for you to exist, for you to be God in. And that's the ultimate deception, right? Is do what thou willst and be what you want to be instead of what God created you to be.
Yeah.
So repent.
Yeah, time is running out.
Yeah, man. And let God use you, man. I think is the biggest takeaway, you know. Love on people, you know, pay it forward. Yeah.
Facts.
Factual.
Facts. I feel like I was gonna say something else about that. I don't remember. It came and it went.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
We're still trying to get the list, man.
I think they just dropped some pictures. You seen that? They dropped pictures, bro. They dropped some pictures,
Of the list?
and of
Or-
course it was the Democrats dropping pictures of Trump with him. Like, oh, this ain't your buddy, huh?
Oh, like
Oh,
that.
you don't want to. You don't want to drop the. You don't want to drop. You don't know nothing. What about this?
You think Trump going to run a third term?
Nah. I think that they killed Charlie because he could have become president. Very, very likely. Way more liked, way more loved, way more appreciated, way more sincere.
Yeah.
Get him out of here because he was about to challenge, them people. So you start talking about what they doing, it's like,
Yeah.
no bueno.
I guess that's why this platforms are important.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta be careful. Know what you signing up for.
I mean, that's why you don't fear death. You gotta remember, the early church were being persecuted for their faith. Remember, Jesus just died. They just killed him, crucified him. Like, I'm talking about tortured, murdered, all that stuff. Then he came back. They were still shook. But then after he was telling them, yo, you got to go out there, spread the gospel, he ascended.
This is Acts, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They were still being persecuted. That's where Paul came in. Paul was killing Christians.
Yeah.
He was a Pharisee. He was supposed to be, the utmost righteous of, and so when you are now killing them and they're being persecuted by Rome, they're being persecuted. Remember, Herod killed James, the brother of John, because it pleased the Jews. So now, James is dead. He gets murdered. These churches were underground churches, like the Underground Railroad kind of thing. You know what I mean? A lot of the Ethiopian churches were underground. They're very beautiful, but they're also like telling, because the way that they are, it's like you like you're escaping something. Like there's a back door and stuff like that. So, to be persecuted for your faith is something that Christ like guarantees you. He said, if you're doing it right, they're gonna persecute you. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna treat you different and treat you funny.
If you hated by the world, you doing it right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that to me is like to die in honor of the truth, of love. What greater love is it than to give your life for your friends, is what he said.
Yeah.
So like your loved ones, your family, to bring people up around you. That's the great thing about working in AV, because you have to work together, but then you meet so many people that are just genuinely like, yo, you good? You need something? Da 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 da. Like, it's just a dope environment.
Like we was talking about the other day.
Yeah.
The whole just connection, networking.
Right.
Yeah, that's
you
a
really
fact.
like helping people get on and like
Yeah.
telling, oh yo, all you gotta do is get this certificate, you get on, da 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 da. Like, it's just something that you don't see in a lot of different industries.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But yeah, man.
And if you ask people, normally 9 out of 10 times
they'll hook you up,
willing to help out.
Right.
Yeah. Word.
More fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
What you got going on now, man? I know the fam.
Yeah.
You about to have
Little
boy, right?
Yeah, man. A little boy.
What's the timeline looking like?
She big, bro.
Oh, any day.
Not any day, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
Like January. He's
Okay.
doing January, so like mid-January.
Fire.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. Yeah, man. I mean, my wife is still singing in the church. I just dropped
At
a joint.
Alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta start coming to Alive, man.
You could, hey, but pull up to a live church, man. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, man. Like, it's a beautiful culture, because mind you, they got a campus on the east side, but the original one is in Gainesville, but the main campus is on OBT.
It's on, yeah.
You know
That's
what
the
I'm
one I
saying?
went to.
So that's in the heart of the city, bro.
Yeah.
That's like,
And
by
it's
Florida Mall.
packed, bro.
1000%. They got like 4 services, bro. They're gonna need like
Okay.
big
I
building.
think the time I went was the impressionable time was like I got done my service at 10 and then I slid over there. I missed worship, but I was in for the word
Yeah.
at like 11:30 or something. So I always am apprehensive going to new churches, because I think the point we talked about today is like that, the cookie cutter formula.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I don't, if I go, I want to go for the word.
Right.
Yeah, the stories are cool and whatnot, but it's like, I hate the motivational speech.
Right.
And you don't even say nothing about
Correct.
the word.
Right.
Or you might take, like, we go through the whole thing. You, at the end, say two verses, and that's it. Now, sometimes they be making sense. It fills in, but you gotta.
Yeah.
That's why it's like it's important to read yourself, because it could be out of context or just not even accurate, you know. But
my thing is that for sure.
Yeah.
I am apprehensive about stuff like that. But then also, like, when you get a little bit deeper, you get into like a lot of the doctrines, and it's like when you really read, especially if you have like a gift of discernment or prophecy, where you can kind of feel where people are being led astray. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot, so you got to pay attention to the doctrines and some of the things that they say, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, you know, and this is what it is, and it's like in the midst of everything else that they saying, and it's like, yo, did you just try to slip something in there that like wasn't completely accurate to like kind of sway people, because now that the 90% of what you said was correct, but then that little leaven that you just added, you know, like, I don't know, I'm weird about a couple of things that the modern church kind of makes normal, like speaking in tongues. I'm like, that's not biblically accurate. I don't know about what you talking about right now.
in the pulpit, just saying nonsense, right?
You know, it's just not, you know, and they have ways to convince people that this is of the Bible, and it's like, no, it's in the Bible, but why was Paul going off on people for just going off in tongues and then there being no interpreter? Why is that in the scripture? And you forget this book is a book of prophecy. You don't think that God didn't know that this was going to be all applicable. See, people forget. People think God is the God from back in the day, forgetting that God is outside of space and time, which means that he's present always. He's aware always of everything that was going to happen. So then you have to find purpose in what's going on. So when you see people trying to manipulate people, you got to be like, you got to be the one to say it even when it's uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but that's part of it. Yeah. But a lot of it's fire. You know, you got to take, my thing is I learned, because I was big on like being critical about everything, but because, see, that's why. You know, and then you be off of it.
That's the Israelite.
A little bit. A little bit. That's the Hebrew in me a little bit. But it is also important to know when you got to reject something, you know, because the prophets were the ones that would come and talk to the masses. And even though they had faith, right, even though they had the Torah, even though they had the law, you know, they had these things, they weren't always living righteously. And God would send the prophet the message to deliver to them, and they would kill the prophet. That's what Jesus was saying. He was like, yo, y'all killed the prophets. They sent all these prophets, and then y'all killed them all. So now I'm here. And
y'all still killing them.
Y'all saw what happened with that. So, like, you know, the person that's saying it is like a Candace. Like, bro, just because she's saying it, they're like, yo, kill her, man. Yo, how dare you? Yo, she's grieving. It's like, yo, they lying though. Like, we don't prove mad lies. That don't matter, right? So when you in the church and you saying, yo, this ain't that, or I heard somebody say this and that shouldn't happen that way, or I'm noticing that this person is kind of handsy in the church and kind of flirty in the church, and he's married and he's the pastor, and you saying it, and they looking at you like, yeah, but look, his gift is so powerful. Look how he connects with people and the way he delivers the word. And I'm like, okay, what that got to do with what I'm talking about?
Right.
Because you think that people got this gift that they're not capable of doing evil in the world and using the church to do so. How many times have we seen that happen?
Yeah.
Right? So then when it comes
Lock that back door.
You see, yo, that was crazy. And these are people that are famous, man.
Gosh.
Remember the dude say he needed all the money because he needed a jet. God told him he needed a jet. Boy, we done seen it all.
Bro.
But they stay rich though, because people want to be blessed.
But people don't have that discernment, bro.
Well, that's why.
Or just
this is why the
wisdom.
This is why the prophets are necessary.
The wisdom.
To remind them of the truth, to give them the wisdom, See, David, as wise as David was, he had a prophet next to him that when he was off, he would get checked. He would come to, yeah, hey, bro, God is saying this. You know what I'm saying? So, like, sometimes we do have to be the people that are standing in the gap in our alone time, reading our word, really praying, really meditating on what God is saying. So by the time we do get back to our brothers and sisters that are out here, we got a word for them because they going through things, and now you can speak into their life. And they be like, yo, where that came from? Yo, man, that's what's up. I appreciate you. You be like, yo, man, that's just what God's saying. And it's like, now they look at you like it's you a little bit, but then you just reminding them, now that's God. But you don't realize that God is using you in that same manner. And so the enemy don't like that, and the enemy has infiltrated everywhere. You know, you see where we at in the world, bro. They trying to rebuild the third temple so that they could put the Antichrist into power. That's what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's the war right now over there. Is they want control over the area where they could build the temple, Solomon's temple, so that they could get that popping. Because they, you know, since the beginning of time, like, you know, you remember with Babylon? Babylon is the first organized religion, the first city in the world, right? They said, let's build a city to go to war against God because he flooded the earth. So let's kill him. Let's find a way to kill him. So they were building this city, and God was like, let's go see what they doing, and destroyed them. But so then they started going into the shadows, and that's where you get Egyptians. See, the pyramids are like in respect of the Tower of Babel, like as a representation of like going to the sky. Look at what we can build. We might not go up there, but we'll get this high and like look at you and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we doing. Why do you think the pyramid is still a symbol of that? You know what I'm saying? And Egypt is always synonymous with like the slavery and the oppression and the witchcraft and all that. Like, remember Moses came in, he turned his staff into a snake, and then they did the same thing. So not that the magic doesn't exist, the darkness doesn't exist, or the technology, the enemy has access to these things. But the important thing is that Moses' staff or his snake ate those snakes and then turned back into a staff. You see what I'm saying? So that's why he's always like, when he's scolding them, he's reminding them, he's like, yo, I brought you out of Egypt. Why are y'all going back? Like mentally, you know? But that is the world religion. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I could finesse the system. I could give the enemy something that he wants in order for me to gain something in the world. And that's normal. You know, you just manifest it. You just say what you want and it's yours. You know? So, yeah, bro, everything we do is important from this point forward because we're influencing more people than we realize. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kids, you know, the women. Like, you a solid dude, right? Maybe the situation with the girl didn't work out because she was against God, not against you, right? So that's not a shot at you. That means that you were who you needed to be. Meaning, if you're always that, any sister that comes up to you and says, yo, I'm going through this thing, you're not looking at her like, oh, you should be in love with me then. You know what I'm saying? Because are you the answer for every female's problem? Because you do that with the first one, and now your wife comes up, or 10 other ones are saying the same thing to you. It's the reverse of that problem. It's like, are you looking for that? Or if it happened, would it be a situation that you would be like, thank God all of these women are just in love with me and they all think that I'm the solution to their problems? It's like, no. If you think about it in that context, it's God is building you so that you become the big brother that they never had, or the uncle or father figure that they never had, the strong man, disciplined by God. And you gotta remember too, if that don't exist in the world the same way no more, you know, it's gotta come from somewhere. So that's why these conversations are important, like having the deeper conversations and making it about the purpose, you know. So thank you.
Word. Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Dropping gems. I'm gonna have to run this one back myself and watch it.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you always. I be picking up gems from you, bro.
Yeah, man.
For real.
You know, we do what we can.
I gotta get in my word more, for sure.
Yeah.
Repent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The blessing comes from, you know, taking the stuff out of your garden. So like, remember he's talking about the seeds
Mm-hmm.
in different types of soil.
Yeah,
It's
like
because
or
the
dropping them on. Yeah,
right
right.
because the fruit that you want, in order for it to bear fruit, not bitter fruit, because it could bear fruit, but it be bitter fruit. In order for it to bear the fruit that you're looking for, you gotta. That's a constant tending to your garden,
Hmm.
and your garden is like where your 2 feet is at. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's a process. You know, you could do it one day, and then it might look good tomorrow. Might look good to I do landscaping. You know what I'm saying? So it might look good in like 2 or 3 days, but then that fourth day, you're gonna have to go in there and like pick some weeds out and maybe spray, maybe prune some things, and maybe see where the bugs is at and all that, and make sure there's no thorns, things that are gonna choke the word
Mm.
away from your life, right? And have you convinced that like you're strong enough, you figured it out now. You've had enough word, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying, to sustain you. And it's like, nah, we need that. That's daily bread. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So
daily bread.
yeah.
Sometimes it's funny you say that. Well, not really. It's the truth. Cause sometimes when I'm hungry, no lie,
Yeah.
I start thinking like, yo, let me go read the word.
Yes.
Like when I'm physically hungry,
Yes. And
I'm
then you
like,
don't be hungry
and
no
I
more.
don't be hungry.
Ain't that crazy?
It's weird.
Ain't that something? I be
It is
fasting a
weird.
lot, man. Fasting is super
Yeah,
important,
yeah, it is.
both for your body and definitely for your spirit, because a lot of the food be an addiction, dog. Like it's such
Yeah,
a
especially how
culture
it is
to
now. The
be like,
processed chemicals. It's scientifically, genetically modified
Lord have
to
mercy. That's why I've been vegan for the
you
past
be
4
an
years.
addict to it,
Right.
obsessed with it. Those Pringle chips
That
are.
sugar, that salt,
We should probably
boy.
bleep that. Ain't name
Ah,
dropping,
yeah,
but
we not no free promos over here.
them chips, man,
Yeah, man.
they be yeah. That's why you can't eat one. You know,
Once it pop, it don't
you
stop.
eating the whole sleeve.
Mm,
Word.
yeah.
Man, let me ask you about fatherhood, man.
Oh
Your
man.
perspective. What's some things that you've
Well, I had one of the.
learned or just
You say what?
like what's some things you uh either learned and maybe some advice. Let me ask two parts.
Okay.
Some advice and then something you learned about yourself through being a father.
Um, Something I learned about myself as a father. I had kids young, bro. I had kids really young, 15, 16, 17 years old. Right. So, one thing I learned about myself is that I wanted to be the best example of what a father was, and so I just took it serious. I was still a kid, so I was growing up, but having my daughter definitely changed. Like having a girl definitely changes your perspective about things. They're just the being protective and all that, right? It's like, yo, this is my daughter. You know what I mean? Boys are just so much easier. They're so laid back. They're so chill. You could just dug out, bro. We good. We chilling. But a girl, they want to talk about everything. They feel all the things. They're gonna want to do what all the girls are doing. And so like, you gotta be the example. You can't just talk that, because if you say one thing and do something else. So I just learned that I had to live it out. I just had to, even when nobody else would. If nobody else was giving me props or telling me I was doing a great job. Most of the time, I would tell people my situation. They'd be like, "That's why you gotta pick them better, yo. You was wilding." Da da da. Like you get a lot of that energy. And it's like, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's not supportive or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to like tell you, maybe to help me or whatever. But like, that's where God is like, nah, you gotta seek me. I got your answers. You know, some advice. That would be my advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely seek the Father. You know, I have a lot of moments, man, where I'm like, oh, you only want to be around me when you need something, huh? And then I'll be like, and it hits me. Speaking of fathers, you know what I'm saying? But like those are those moments where you're like, oh, that's how God feels about his kids. When we are like, yo, when I need something, when I'm panicking, God, yo, I'm on my knees, I'm crying, I'm praying, you know, when you going through it, when you hurt, when you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everything related, all our human relations relate to him.
Because we think that emotions are exclusive to us.
Yeah.
And in reality, we are an image
that's
of
crazy.
him.
I just had a moment last week where I had to realize that, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was like me desiring this certain situation or feeling, and it was like grieving about it, I guess.
Right.
And asking myself like, well, why am I grieving this? Why? And then it was like, oh, well, asking God, and he's like, well, cause like I want that with you.
Right.
It's like,
man, it's so simple.
But
you asked.
And it's like funny too. Like he got a sense of humor.
Of course.
I think he talks to everybody in the way that they
understand.
Correct.
Because that's how you would talk to your kids.
It was like funny, and I'm like, man.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's
yeah, it's crazy.
Super important, man.
Yeah.
It's super important that you recognize that you needed to say something. Because what a lot of people do is they just go look in the world for whatever to feel that hurt, to numb that hurt, because that's what it is to numb it. So it's drugs, it's alcohol, it's the next relationship.
Yeah.
And that's how you spiral. That's how you know what I mean? And him telling you that is what a lot of men should aspire to do, right? Check with your pops, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's my advice, man. It's like, you have a heavenly father, you know. I'm also a father to like my god kids. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 girls and 2 boys, and I've been around them since they were all little.
Okay.
You know, and then my daughter.
Big fam.
Yeah, right. Then my daughter, like, she got friends, and some of them don't got dads and stuff like that. So I'm finding out like God is really putting me in a situation to be like, but I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was still like halfway in the world. You feel me? Like, imagine I'm like secretly living like this, and then you got these. That's how stories end up becoming tragic. You know, God wants to give you the responsibility that you don't see on the other side of the door, but you gotta trust that He knows what He's doing. Like, yo, you trust me? That's what Peter was talking about. Yo, man, if it's really you, let me go out in the water. He said, all right. So you got the faith part down, but the trust. The trust is being on the water, walking on the water, and the storm is around you, and you focusing on the storm instead of on the person that told you, yo, trust me. You trust me, right? I got you. Then He told the storm to be calm. He didn't tell them to be calm. He said, why don't y'all have faith? Then He calmed the storm. He's in control. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I look forward to being a dad again, you know, like in a family scenario where, you know, the love is there, we married and all that. Like,
word.
Beautiful
and
thing.
a son.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's a lot of girls in my life, in my family, and it's just like, man, let me get some. I got a boy, like, I could just be like the guys, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Rough and playing all that
just
stuff.
Cool, just chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had my godson the other day, and like, I was just like, what you want to do? And he was vibing. I was like, cool.
Right.
Easy.
Ain't too much.
You hungry? Nah, not really. All right.
Right.
Want to watch a movie? Yeah. All right. You know what I'm saying? Girls, they want to get into everything. I want to paint. I want to this. I want to go outside now. Can we go outside? Can I get some money? I got to go. I'm like, this is a lot right now. Can I just Can I sit down? You know what I'm saying? I know
Yeah.
my dad is going through that with Kayla a little bit too right now. Cause yo, Kayla sent me my sister's birthday was the other day. It's a lot of December birthdays.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, yo, you know, I'm used to her being little. I'm like, yo, what do you want for your birthday? I learned a lot about being a dad from my dad, by the way. So shout out to him. And she was like, oh, I know exactly what I want. And she sent it to me. All of a sudden now she got an iPad. She ain't never hit me up before. Huh, Dad? All of a sudden she sent me what she want, dog. It's like a $350 vanity, dog. I'm like
A vanity, like a
dresser,
Yeah.
right? $350. It's like, yeah, no, I know the exact one that I want. I'll send it to you. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, you know, you used to just getting like a doll or something or
Yeah.
a little whatever.
As they get older, them prices go up too, right?
Those are girls. Yeah. Yeah, bro. They go outside and hang out. You know what I'm saying?
I want an Xbox now, though, right? That's like the big one.
I don't know. I
PS5.
don't know if we're gonna do games like that, man, in our house, man.
Yeah.
Maybe
Keep
like in moderation.
Keep them
or
outside
something.
as long as possible.
I think so,
right?
man. I think so.
I'll tell you what, man, that connection. I just was in Arizona,
Man,
and ain't nothing better than
it looked amazing.
being out in nature, bro.
Especially there.
You forget about everything. Everything disappears. Like, it really is, like, I literally came back and it was like literally like re-plugging back into the matrix, bro.
Right.
Like, I was disconnected and just
Did it feel like disappointing?
nah.
You felt good about it?
I mean, maybe like the first day, cause I didn't even have service, bro.
Right.
We was in the desert, mountains. I
Yeah.
couldn't get service,
Right.
and it was a little weird the first couple of days, but then I managed to get like, there was like one place I could stand and get like 1 bar LTE, not even like, you know, 5G would like fluctuate, but it was like LTE. I was sending text messages, couldn't even send WhatsApp or iMessage.
God was sitting you down.
So once I texted, you know, the people I was in communication with, and just like, yo, I don't got good service. If you don't hear from me, I'm all right. I'll check in with you in a few days or whatever. But yeah, man, it was really, I could have spent another week or two out there, honestly.
Now you know.
But it was like really understanding, like, man, bro, my perspective on work, on money, on purpose, on life changed everything.
Wow.
Like, realizing like how, like, we are in this system, you know, and if you wanna live a decent life in this system, you gotta work, you gotta get some money. You know, it's a tool, and it gives you that freedom and the leverage and unlocks certain doors, and it's literally like a video game. Like,
right.
it literally, like, you gotta get this to go to the next level. You gotta get this to level up so you can buy this booster pack or upgrade and go to the next level, you know? I think, you know, Andrew Tate, he mentioned it. If you want complete freedom, you either gotta make a buttload of money, or you sell all your things and you go live in the woods.
Yeah.
That's free. That's literally
freedom.
Absolute freedom.
Right.
Anything else, you in between.
Yeah.
You know, you on this proverbial hamster wheel of life and the system. You know what I'm saying?
I've been having those conversations.
It's very you know, it's and it's crazy too, cause that's how everybody used to live, bro. Like, this is all new, you know. People would, to a sense, there was still like economy and trade. People would like trade and primarily, but the whole, like, you know, implementation of a dollar and, you know, the gold standard and um, it changed everything to be in this haves and haves not
Right.
system, where everyone was like on this type equal playing field.
Right. Well, to give you just a little bit of perspective, right? People from other countries die to come here
Yeah.
because the evolution of the standard of living is because of the diversity. Um, and it's just not like that anywhere else. Like the system, we're jaded as Americans
Mm.
because our perspective is very much like, you know, it's one thing, but in reality, it's like nah. In places around the world, bro, they have super limited options. The funny thing is, we're dying to live like them. Like, imagine being on a Caribbean island somewhere where they're just living off the land and
Drinking
eating.
coconuts,
You
and
kidding me, bro? That's like the
that's
epitome. That's like
that's what
being
I
in the
was
garden.
doing.
It's like being in the Garden of Eden, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that they're eager to come here because there's not as many opportunities, because their children grow up like having to struggle to get the basic things.
Mm.
And so they don't want to have to make their own shoes and then wash clothes by hand, and they got 3 outfits, and school systems and then the police are corrupt and all that stuff. So they're like trying to get to a place where there's a little bit more stability. So they're feeling like they're underneath the idea of being able to go get a job, go get an apartment, go to the store, get water. We're complaining about prices, bro. Other places is like way more issues than just how much things cost or like how hard it is to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're working to survive. We're working like with luxury.
To have a certain lifestyle.
With luxury.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything
yeah.
is luxury. Like the sneakers that we wear, the this, the that. Nobody's walking around and
Driving a car.
the style
Like
is tattered clothes now. Like less is more. I mean, I went to a place, I think it was like Saks or something like that.
bleached and ripped clothes.
Pause. But they had a pair of shoes. I had to. There's a pair of shoes there that they look super run down. I'm talking about ugly, disgusting. They look like sewer shoes, right? But when I tell you, they cost like $5,000,
Oh.
dog, legit. And they were like little girl shoes with like sprinkles on them and stuff like that. And I was like, what is this? Ew, bro, they're selling this? And I picked up and I said, this is like, you guys have done it. So that's my point, is like, it's almost a mockery of, that's why I love Ye. Because Ye, when he created his, I got his sneakers on, right? When he created the sneakers, he knew he was building something quality, something that was going to be used utility wise, like strong, comfortable, but also like kind of luxurious. And the qualities never went down. The ability to use it has never gone down. So his product is tried and true. But like, he wanted to do that for the low, for the people. You know what I mean? And it's like, you don't get innovation like that all the time or whatever. But like, that's why he was like, yo, I'm gonna go out on a compound in the middle of Wisconsin or Wyoming. I mean, and just build stuff and create and try to like, free the people again, in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about how you do it, I think. But yeah, as far as like the hamster wheel, I do feel that. And I definitely think about that when it comes to my wife, because she's a woman. And ideally, you don't want your wife like in the world having to like answer to a boss. So there is like, okay, well then how do we do that?
Right.
And those conversations are not always easy to have, because you do want to enjoy life. You don't want to have to think about grinding and then grinding to get out of that grind. So like you're triple grinding, trying to keep up with everything. But I do think that while we have energy, let's get up, let's run, get up early before the sun. That rhymes. You know what I'm saying?
Bar.
But I mean, off the top.
Bar.
but I'm just saying, like,
No, facts.
I was telling my daughter that. I'm like, yo, she want to be a lawyer. I'm like, yo, it's going to take you applying that pressure on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Get with your grandfather. He boxes. He point you in the right direction. Talk to people that he know that you could trust with you. Train. You know, that'll get you laser focused. You know what I'm saying? So that way you have that freedom. You know what I'm saying? You could flex. You could do what you want. Do what you love. I think that's real freedom, is doing what you love. You know what I'm saying?
Do what you want to do when you want to do it, no matter the place, time, or cost.
Yeah. Well, that I think is like God level of what we talking about,
That's
right? But how realistic is
like
that?
the ultimate freedom.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you need $1 billion to do that, and even they're not happy. One thing my dad said one day in an interview, right?
But I'm not gonna go buy it. I don't want a $20 million yacht, $1 billion yacht. You know.
Correct. But
You just rent it for the day.
how much money is enough money then? Right? Like,
well, that's like Will Smith's cliff top analogy. You heard that?
What is it?
So there's rock bottom, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you ain't got nothing. You at the bottom.
Right.
And then he said he learned cliff top, where you get all the success, all the bread,
everything.
every car, every house,
And then what?
That's it. You go off the cliff.
Right.
You realize that
you max out.
The peak isn't
right. Once you get to the top of the mountain, there's no room for you to stand. Right? So you end up falling off. You know what my dad said in the interview once? He said, and this is when X was still alive. And my dad, like, again, when you talk to him, you could talk about his relationship with DMX and all of that, and just kind of how complicated, complex that was, and how spiritual it was. But, you know, he has like his suit on. You don't really see him a lot. You know, he sat down with 50s people, and he's at Disney. You know, he got his ponytail in. You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, he's chilling. You know, he's in his element. It's probably beautiful outside. And she was just like, she was asking questions, and he said, you know, I sleep good at night. And she was like, word. And he was like, yeah, you know, a lot of people, they have, you know, what they have, but a lot of people don't sleep good at night. And I was like, that was profound. You know, very simple, but like, I think if you have peace, that is freedom, you know, and God is peace, you know. So in the midst of chaos, in the midst of like whatever we think struggle is, you know, I feel like how we do it, as long as we put him first, he's gonna always give us the cheat codes. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact, because you work in AV, right? Working AV sometimes is like, this gotta be a cheat code, bro. Because people, now mind you, you gotta chase it sometimes to get these gigs. But sometimes you be at work like, am I for real getting paid for this? Ain't no way I'm getting paid. I'm hanging out right now.
Yeah, right.
At the rate that I'm getting right now, are you kidding me?
What's going on? This is
a cheat code.
This is some money laundering scheme or something.
It is. I mean, we're not gonna blow it up, but I will say a lot of those events, bro, these are write-offs. You feel me?
Well, yeah.
And they trying to say that they spent X amount, and you know they only spent Y amount. You feel me? But that ain't none of my business. I got paid. You feel me?
Well, they are spending it, so.
Yeah, but you don't know what they're spending. That's the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we spent this and this and this and this. It's like, yeah, sure you did. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But thank you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Call me when you need somebody. Anytime you need somebody, I got you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. You were saying something about.
I was just talking about the cheat code.
The cheat code, yeah.
Yeah, God is the cheat code, because he'll put you in positions like, bro. I just did Shakira and Post Malone when they came out here, and not for nothing, I remembered that Chris was coming out here, and I was like, oh snap! So I hit up my connect. I was like, yo, y'all doing Chris? She was like, yeah. I was like, what's up? He was like, what's up? I said, oh snap! So I pulled up, bro. That was epic. You know what I'm saying? But like, again, to get paid for that,
yeah,
to pick up the phone and make a call and get paid to see something as epic as like our generation's Mike and the redemption too. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he's really that in a way that Mike wasn't. Not to say that Mike isn't the epitome, but just in a way that Mike wasn't, Chris do all of that. He sing, dance, flip, fly, rap, like
them
probably do
that
you know what I'm saying? Whatever he
that
wanna
wire
do.
stuff was that man
Oh, they
was
shot him up in the sky on cue.
thrown across the arena.
Stadium. Right.
Yeah.
But like I came in on the Residuals joint. And I hadn't really been familiar with that record. Like I heard it probably in passing. And I came in and he's singing, bro. Mind you, I'm like a super R&B head. Super like more hip hop is. Hip hop and R&B I feel like are synonymous. They're the same. It's like mom and dad, right? You can't have one without the other. But he's singing in front of the mic, bro. The whole stadium is singing with him and I'm like, dog. I don't know too many people that can make that type of effect happen in a place where people are feeling their feelings. Like Chris got all these songs about just like love and being on a chase and all that stuff. He got some ratchet songs too, but like just that feeling, bro. I'm like, dang, bro, that's what it's about right there. Yeah. But like, yeah, just talking about the cheat code though, like, yeah, bro, God, yeah. Shout out to him.
Word.
You wrote something down? What you got?
Some final thoughts type stuff.
Yeah, some stolen thoughts.
Okay. I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to talk about or mention else before we kind of wrap this thing up like a Christmas present?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I wrote something down. You got something written down?
Some shotgun type questions.
Okay, go ahead, go.
What's one piece of advice you'd give for anyone chasing their dreams?
Drink more water.
Drink more water.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's spiritual.
Okay.
Quality of water matters. And there's water in food. And I think that living water, like that analogy of like what Christ was talking about with water, turning water to wine, that's his first miracle. I think a lot of that stuff is symbolic with the earth and our bodies being made of water and all that stuff. And it's just like, you know, you following your dream, that's cool. But sometimes it just starts with taking care of yourself, because I feel like people are in their mind a lot. And when you're in your mind, you're not considering that you would get more done to get to this, because it's steps. If you're thinking about the dream, you're thinking about the last step or the trophy, instead of thinking about all the days you got to run, all the days you got to train, all the days you got to get up early, all the days you got to eat stuff that you don't love eating, because you can't just indulge, and you can't just lay on your back and watch, season 5 after you just watched 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So if you drink some water when you don't feel like drinking water, you want that Sprite, you want that lemonade, you want that, you know what I'm saying, that vodka, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You remind yourself that like, nah, I need to drink this whole bottle. I need to get the good quality spring water, not that boo-boo, Dasani, or whatever. And it just it's a moment to realign and think like, okay, well, what can I do today? I drink my water. What's the next thing? Now you probably want to do some push-ups like Stoli over here.
Hey man, I've been going strong since Arizona.
See,
every day.
Yeah, and it starts with those things, one step at a time. Building yourself up, loving yourself.
Yeah, man. What you got next, man?
Music.
Okay.
Family, new baby, so that's the whole thing. And we got a record label. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Road Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Waste Management. You know what I mean? My brother. He go by Wolf Flow now. He always reinventing, but it's me and my brother, my dad. You know what I'm saying? Wolfgang, K Solo, Fugitive. Um, you know, and we still re-innovating with the music, but we also big into ownership, big into, you know, doing our own movement, our own wave. I like the wave because we in Florida, so it's gonna look and feel a lot different being where we at. And you know, I want to do a space tournament, man. I want to start with that.
Space.
Space is hilarious.
Oh, spades.
Yes,
Spades.
space.
I don't know why I heard
Let's have a race.
one
in
letter
space.
off. A space tournament.
A space race.
Yeah, a space race. Taking it back.
Nah, space space a space tournament. Yeah, bro. Like kind of bring the barbecue to the forefront. Like we shooting a show, so we just kind of getting into our own television network type vibe. And yeah, taking it to another level. You know what I'm saying? And you already know some of that. Some of that gotta stay, you know, in the lab a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, man.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And Redman and Method Man will be in Tampa, I think December 18th, man. So I don't know when this drops, but you know what I'm saying? You know, I think Florida as a whole is I see a lot more artists coming to Orlando, but Tampa always had like
Florida
a lot
as
of motion.
a whole for sure. I mean, Miami is
So that's the next step. Is like
Miami like the new.
My wife's from Miami, so
new LA. You know, LA is gonna always be LA, but it's just like it's another. It's
the thing I love about Florida though.
It's a different vibe.
If you're not from here, you don't know how things really click, and that's such an advantage for the people that are from here. Because people come from out of town and think they finna, because they was the man where they came from or that chick or whatever, like they connected or whatever. But like to really maneuver, I think it's gonna be a beautiful thing to see what happens next, because to be able to showcase what we got, it's like its own currency. It's like gold. It's like sitting on gold. Do you know that Florida, I'm just a nerd, I'm sorry. Did you know that Florida, if it were to secede from the country, it'd be one of the richest countries in the world? Fun fact. The amount of import, export, I think we have the largest port in the country now because of the one in New Orleans got cooked with Katrina and all that, the levees. So we have the largest port in Miami, and we got the Gulf on that side, we got the Caribbean on that side. So, yeah, bro, like
true,
yeah, but yeah, exciting things to come, man. I love the idea of like just unifying the tribes and just doing it all in the right name and making the waviest, you know, motion possible, you know, for people to love and really enjoy. It's like finding the good food, you know, from different places and being like, yo, that's that.
Yeah.
You don't mind going back there 10 times because it's like I know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
It's that. You know what I mean? But
for sure.
Bro, we gotta shoot another episode. Next episode we gotta shoot it in Miami. That'll be like for an event or something that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We could make it happen.
Let's do that.
For sure. Right. What you want people to take from the music? And where can people tap in?
I usually search in ODP facts. You know what I'm saying? That's where the channel is at. But I'm working on the debut because I don't have anything like on iTunes or nothing like that yet. You know, the DSPs. The debut is gonna be dope. The take from the music, I mean, it's always gonna be different. You know, I don't like to use the word pride, but like I appreciate the student that I am. When I hear other students, I appreciate that they took time to like really master different things and kind of be diverse. Like a Lupe kind of did a lot of different things. Different artists, you know, that are able to do different things. But like, I feel like I might be one of the most diverse. And I did it on different scales, but this next level is like what y'all about to see with the production, you know what I mean, and the different styles. Yeah, man. I mean, I just I want to be the rapper that brings like love back into the conversation. And you know, love comes from God for sure, but also just like relationship conversations. You know what I'm saying? And like conversations, bro. It makes me sad when I hear all the new R&B that just sounds so good, like a Leon Thomas. I love Leon Thomas. Sounds so good, but a lot of that stuff just be toxic, bro. Like some of Chris's records. Now he started to with like the 80s, 808s, the heavy, you know, you hear like kind of that slow dance, like the love is coming back into it, where it's just like talking about that, but like just a lot of it just be toxic. Brent Fayez. So like my daughter's listening to it and it's a bop, you know what I'm saying? But like
The message.
it be toxic and I'm like, dang, bro, I don't want you to be internalizing all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like what happened to the love? So it's like just being somebody that really is coming from that place, and then, you know, me and my wife going through do our J&B thing.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, and just, you know, to me it's like it's just bringing the love back, you know what I'm saying? Bring God back into the conversation, and bring lyrics back into the conversation, and being sharp, man, being witty, having people like, oh, that was kind of fire, like that was crazy. Have you heard that beat? And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Where's the love?
that
man?
feeling, you know what I'm
Where's
saying?
the love?
Yeah, bro.
That's a fire record.
Yeah.
Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake. What's wrong with the world, mama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's classic.
Yo, Black Eyed Peas, they were very hip hop before they got pop.
Facts.
Very hip hop. Very underrated. Yeah, bro.
Fire.
Yeah.
That music video is crazy too.
Yeah,
I go
man.
back, man, I listen to. That's one of those ones I go back and listen to, like
Man, gems, bro.
gems.
Gems, bro.
Yeah.
It never depreciates.
It only takes one.
That's it, bro.
As
But
long
if you
as
got more than one,
the message, yeah.
sheesh.
What was I listening to today? Some Katy Perry. Like, where's she been?
You looking for her?
No, but
Oh.
I'm just saying, like.
I mean, you kind of sounded like you were looking for her, but
You just don't.
turn out the lights. I'm looking for her.
Yeah. Hits, you
I
know.
don't know.
You know, it's Mariah Carey's favorite time of year.
Yeah, I found myself singing that song with my daughter probably in the house more often than I'd like to admit, but that's being a girl dad.
That's
You know.
it's appropriate for this time of year. So
It's like she's Santa for real.
when
low-key.
January 1st comes, no, maybe not. You know.
Maybe I'll make a hit for January 1st. Ooh, see me cooking now.
Some New Year's.
Okay, so there's no like niche record. Like, remember we talking about conceptualizing the real writers.
Yeah.
By the way, Mariah Carey is an exceptional writer and people sleep, but like all them big words that she be using on her record is because she writes.
Her what was it?
So people are singing, but they're using all this.
Was
like,
it the
super crazy
Grammys? What
vernacular.
award show was that? The last award show she
Okay.
performed at?
Oh, she's spitting. She's rapping.
Nah, bro. Her performance was not good.
You weren't feeling it?
Nah.
She was rapping though.
She
Remember
was.
This is the same. This
She
is the one
like
you're
it
talking
looked,
about.
it looked like she couldn't breathe in her dress.
Probably. She at that
Oh
age.
my! It looks so uncomfortable.
She's still fire though.
But anyway, the conceptual.
Yes. So if you come up with a New Year's record, right?
Yeah.
A New Year's record, you know, the ball drop and
Every year.
You kind of build the anticipation, and it's like happy. You know, you find a way to do that on a hook. You know what I'm saying? Like you cooking, cut something up. You know what I'm saying? But like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't always gotta be like I'm the nicest MC. You know what I'm saying?
True. I get what you're saying.
You know, which I do that sometimes too. But
A time and place.
yeah, because like, bro, if you
Then anybody can play it, right?
correct, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
That was Tupac. That was my favorite part of what Tupac did. Was like the world loved him because he only focused on connecting with the people. And you see the impact that made, because people like to sleep on like, oh, he's not a lyricist. He didn't have like, you know, what a lot of these other rappers have. And I'm like, bro, y'all, first of all, he rap. So don't ever get it twisted. But he just didn't focus on being, overly lyrical, trying to mess your mind up and melt your brain with the ultimate lyrical, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because he was actually busy connecting with people.
Yeah.
And that mattered the most. So that's, I aspire for that, you know what I'm saying? But all time, top 3 is my dad, obviously, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of reasons. But then Lauren, then Pac. Because Lauren, to
Okay.
me, that album that's the one. Miseducation,
Okay.
and it's so gospel, it'll give you chills. It's the perfect album. You know what I'm saying? She sing and rap. So when she's singing, she's rapping ad-libs. And when she's rapping, she's singing in the back. And
Ahead of his time.
man,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful I got to see her perform. I saw her in DC. Me and my wife drove up there because this was the, I think, 25th year anniversary of Miseducation. And I got to see that, and like Obama was in the building, and it was crazy. But after the success of that show, she went on tour. So it's just a beautiful thing to see, like, that she's still going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Fire.
yeah. I want to do an album like that. Yo, Da Vinci, holla at me, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah, let's make it happen.
if people want to tap in with you,
Yeah.
how can they reach you?
Yo, OdaPrince, that's 0DAPRINC3. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, man, just expect the unexpected, man. We just doing the Lord's work out here, man. Bringing love back. Where's the love?
Where's the love?
Yeah. Shout out to Stoli, man. Stolen Conversations, man. Listen,
Hey.
I don't like talking like that, feel me? So he definitely just stole a conversation from me. If you could do that, you know what I'm saying, you official. So shout out to Stoli, man, for being a super solid stand-up guy.
Hey, it's not called that for no reason, man. So
Facts.
I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you sliding through, making this happen.
Yeah.
For sure, bro. Anything else you wish I would have asked and you want to shout out or say?
Nah, I think we did the thing. You know what I'm saying? I just, want to pray over this space, you know what I'm saying? And pray for our future endeavors, that we we do more uniting with the people that are going to uplift us and bring us to where we got to go for God's, for God's plan, that we don't seek our own, that we just trust in him and ask him, regularly how we could be used by him. Yeah, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
On that note, you know what time it is, man. Make sure you click that like button, subscribe. Go share this with your auntie, uncle, cousin, nephew, stepbrother, brother-in-law, anybody you think would get a kick out of this. So, till next time. Peace.
Salute.